that we are going through some type of healing process. I do not expect that it's going to stay this scary for so long. Manny Figueroa donated. He says, pray for soldiers and civilians in harm's way. Absolutely. The pink shirt looks good. It's a great contrast with your background. Thank you very much. That's Creative Nature Girl. So yes, the Casey reading said Jesus is our elder brother in our pathway of ascension. And again, part of what this means is tying back to the great quote, John 14:12. As I do these things, which is really talking about the miracles that he was doing, so shall you do them, and greater things, for I go unto my Father, Mother God, if we paraphrase what the original Aramaic actually said. Father, Mother God is the real way to go about this accurately and correctly. So Ron J. Horton donated $50. He lives within us. Thanks, David. Thank you very much, Ron. I have such great respect for Jesus, such great respect for the Christ, such great respect for this holiday. It is a true honor to be here with you today talking about this. So let's get into something new here. This is a quote from Edgar Casey's reading, 262-103. It's beautiful for Easter. And so we're going to do an extended quote on this because it's really nice. And it gets into the bigger message that all these beings, higher consciousness, want to share with us. Not only 2,000 years ago, but today, he may be born in your own consciousness, your own understanding. He comes to his own. And here I would just say, take the he as also being Father, Mother, God. That it's however you choose to see the higher consciousness, it's fine. It's just that this Casey reading does use the masculine gender, but this is a pretty good one. And we're going to have a lot more fun for you, so let's just keep it going. He comes to his own. Are you his? Have you claimed him? Have you put on the Christ, even as was and is exemplified in that life, that birth, that death of Jesus the Christ? So right away, he's putting, the Casey source is putting the onus back on the reader. Have you put on the higher consciousness? Have you embodied what these teachings are really about? He is your elder brother. He's giving you a sense of direction on where he wants you to go. What does he want you to do? How does he want you to feel? How does he want you to believe? Isn't that cool? That we can take on that mantle of Christ and we can embody that consciousness. I mean, for me, this is really great stuff. And anyway, it's really cool. So let's keep going. For he is your elder brother. He is the babe in your heart, in your life. Again, this is the galactic mind. To be then, even now, as then, nourished in the heart, in the body, and in the mind. So that's part of the quote here. It's going to go on from there. But there's really good stuff in here. If you think about it, the Christ being your elder brother, that concept really adds a lot of weight to the ascension, to this festival of ascension that we're in today. Because if he's your elder brother and he says, as I do these things, so shall you do them, and greater things, then wow. Maybe that means that I also, or you also, will be able to gain this ascended ability. If he's your elder brother, he's the pattern, he's the path. And this is, again, a very esoteric concept that you do get it in Christianity with the rapture, but a lot of times that seems to be more of an extreme fringe view that maybe a lot of Christians don't really ascribe to. But yes, I do believe in it, and I think that it's something that really will happen here on earth in its own way. Now, it might not be exactly how we expect. The Law of One series, which again I hold in very high esteem, says that it could take 100 to 700 years for us to transition in this. However, we may get a first wave where there is some type of consciousness activation. The Virgin Mary Garabandal prophecies from 1961 to 1964, these were happening, strongly imply that there's going to be some type of initial activation of cosmic consciousness where nobody on earth can deny that this happened. Then they say it only lasts for like a day and everybody goes back to the way they were. And they start saying, oh, it was caused by a solar flare or caused by some type of, weird electromagnetic phenomenon that we can't explain. Well, if this is what ends up happening, it's going to be really, really cool. And I do believe these types of events are triggered by geopolitical and other events on the planet. That's one of the things the Law of One talks about and stresses is the holographic relationship that we have between what's going on the surface of the earth and what's going on cosmologically. Therefore, as various pieces of information come to light, as various events transpire, I think that we get openings of cosmic consciousness. I do believe that is part of what we're talking about here, and that's a good thing. So Beverly Adams says, we are the medbeds. That's right. So anyway, there's really good stuff going on here, and it's a great time. Thank you guys for being here. And so Jesus is your elder brother. This is a really fascinating concept. He is the babe in your heart, in your life, to be then even now, nourished in your heart, body, and mind. And then, this is really where it gets into, this is very, very, some people might think this is controversial, but this is straight out of Edgar Cayce. For as you behold the face of your friend, of your neighbor, of your foe, yes, even your enemy, you behold the image of your Savior. Wow. That's a very intense, kind of heavy-duty statement that we can take that and say, yeah, it's okay to look at everyone as the one infinite creator. We're all one. We're all unified. So even our enemies are ultimately saving us and bringing us through transfiguration. That's a very provocative statement that you're really not going to see in too many other places. We are consciousness acting as people, says 11, call in 11. That's interesting. So, when you look at those types of passages, that he's your elder brother, that we're all one, we're all embodying this consciousness, we have a safety. We realize that this world is safer than we think. We're not living in fear and disaster and pain anymore. We're living in truth and love and combined consciousness that is what Christ is ultimately about. It's unification. The idea that we're unifying into a higher consciousness, we're unifying into a greater whole. That's what I really, really love. And so, love thine enemy as thyself. That's absolutely right. And there's a lot of good things there, a lot of good things that we can see here. So, yes, even your enemy, you are beholding the image of your Savior. We could go on about that at great length. For you are all his and hers, brought not only with the birth of the God-child into flesh, but with the death, that you might know that he, your brother, your Savior, your Christ, has been and is the way to the Father, Mother in this material plane. And again, the logoic consciousness of Christ is the galactic mind. This is the way to the Father, Mother. This is the way to achieving ascension, to achieving cosmic consciousness, to raising our collective vibration, to getting into a higher state of beingness. This comes about through accessing the pure energy of love. We're not going to get there if we don't embody that logoic loving consciousness, the logos, again, being the embodiment of pure love. We're edging up towards 2,000 viewers here. We're at 1,846 now. Hopefully we'll get to 2,000 pretty soon. We're only at the 33-minute mark. That's pretty awesome, you guys. Thanks for showing up. So Jesus is your elder brother, and even when you look at the face of your enemy, you are seeing your Savior. May not seem that way, but this is a very helpful teaching as we're going through all this right now, that the war itself, the enemy that we're facing, is going to transform this planet, that this whole situation, I don't believe that the world is designed for us to stay in something so scary and negative for very long. I do believe that we get through these things with flying colors, that we come out on the other side. We're not stuck here forever. We move in beautiful steps, step by step, going through our activation, going through our cosmic consciousness, going through our awakening, getting to this higher plane of existence. This is what life is really about. And so the Christ is here for you. The Christ is your source of activation that will get you to that higher level, get you to that plane of existence. So let's again just take a look at this real quick and see how beautiful this is, that we have this activation of the Father, Mother, God. That this is your Savior, your Christ, is coming about through this process. It's quite amazing how that happens, and the way in which we're transformed by our own hard work as we work on embodying these principles of Christ, they pay off. And that's what ascension is really about, is the final payoff for all the hard work that we do in forgiveness and compassion, and patience and love, and working through the difficulties that our lives present us with, getting to that higher consciousness, getting that state of joyful reunion with the Logos, with the Christ, with the oneness. As we go through that process, we are being reborn. We are being resurrected. It happens every day. There is a resurrection taking place all the time as we learn to live in a greater state of peace and embodied oneness consciousness. So let's be grateful that we have this available to us, because the Christ is here for us, and we are able to, enjoy that. So Vakapalo just donated. Thank you very much. Let's make sure I didn't miss any of them. No, so far I haven't. Thank you guys very much. Tell them about the sun, David, somebody says. Well, we're all doing our thing here, and it's a positive thing to be here today. It's a positive thing to be a part of this universe, to be a part of when we were all able to live together in peace and harmony and unity. Long ago, we had a golden age, and that's going to be coming back. So that's what the prophecies tell us. And I really do think that it's going to be coming back full steam ahead in a way that we just have never seen before. And, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're very, very much embodied in that ascension consciousness. Manny Figueroa says, I love Nino Rodriguez. Are you guys close friends? Well, I don't know if we're close friends, but we've definitely spent time talking on the phone. I really like the guy. I think he's a great person. So yes, I would consider him to be a good friend. And I'm happy that we have been able to connect in the past. Anyway, ascension is not just for kids, man. This is a very grown-up thing that we're all going through, and it has its ups and downs. It has its strifes. It has its turmoils. But I believe that with Jesus being our elder brother, again, even your enemy is giving you the image of your Savior, and you are all part of this galactic consciousness, which paves the way back to the Father, Mother, God. Let's read a little bit more of this. For as he chose to enter, so you have entered. And as he chose to live, so may you live. As he chose to give of himself, that there might be a greater understanding, a greater knowledge, showing forth the wisdom of God, that God is love, poured forth upon the children of humanity. Isn't that beautiful? This is about as poetic as the Casey readings ever get. I really love this passage. As he chose to enter, so you have entered. As he chose to live, so may you live. I mean, this is really, really high-octane spiritual teaching. And we got a lot more coming up for you. We're going to be reading quotes from the Bible and other sources again, talking about ascension. We're going to be reading about the latest disclosure news that's coming in. We're going to review again the idea of angelic beings and how they factor into everything. It's a very exciting time. And so I'm very grateful that we're here today working on this together. God is love, the wisdom of God. Isn't that cool? And that's really where it comes to. So this is a huge sentence, right? And as these changes come, and as you make known that there has been the raising of that consciousness of his presence in your experience, by your conversation with, by your dealings with, by your life with your fellow humans, so may you hasten the day when he, Christ, may come into your own heart, unto his own peoples to reign. Well, yes, this is a prophecy about mass ascension. Mass ascension really is not going to happen until we start embodying the principles of Christ and living by those principles. If we can accept those teachings, embrace those teachings, live by those teachings, that's really where the decision is made and we get to a new level. So J. Teffer Thriller says, much love, David. I've been told I have a connection to Luke. Wish you the best and thank you for your service. Thank you, J. Teffer. So, this is something that we all do want to live in love. We want to live in that higher consciousness. We want to live in the glory of this true activation that happens when you, again, have that presence in your experience by your conversations and dealings with fellow humans. This is the really core of the message. The Law of One says the same thing. It's how we interact with other people. It's the raising of that consciousness. It's being loving. I always try to do this. When I'm out there in public, I'm always trying to be grateful to those people who I work with. If I go to the store, if I buy things, try to have that Christ consciousness activated so you can hasten the day when the Christ consciousness returns to the people to reign. Yes, in the hearts and the lives, it says. That is the ascension. That's what we're really talking about. We co-create this process. We don't know when it's going to happen, but I do believe that it will. And I believe that as we go through difficult events on earth, it is a metaphorical equivalent of a crucifixion that the earth itself is experiencing. And we even talked about the concept of the events of 2020 and how those events correlate with the crucifixion. You have needles, which would be symbolized by the spikes in the hands and the feet. You have the crown of thorns, again, needles going in. And then you also have the spear of Longinus that pierced Jesus on his side when they tested him to see if he was actually no longer alive on the cross. And that was one of the final indignities that his body suffered before they took him down. But again, for a week after the new year, grateful to be living in Florida. Well, yeah, rub it in. Okay, let's try not to get too smug about this. But yeah, so people definitely are going through pain. They're going through hell. And much of the country is going through this. So I'm going to talk about mental preparedness, spiritual preparedness, and of course physical preparedness, because I've been through a lot of these kind of things before, and I think that I can help you. And we're going to diverge to some degree into the side tangents as well. We're not just going to only talk about the weather. We're going to talk about the big picture. What's really going on here? What is this whole thing really about? And what are we learning from all this? So do you challenge AI with your works and findings, perhaps come up with new discoveries? Well, I haven't done that yet, but, maybe we could try that. That might be interesting. Thank you, Gene Novacek. Thank you for the moderation. I suspect that this could be something strange and not what we are seeing on the surface. What are your thoughts? There's a lot of people that are speculating about that. I'm not the only one. It is very strange, and we've talked many times in the past about various types of technology. There's Michael Herrera, who's a whistleblower, talking about a major facility in Antarctica that has massive capabilities, apparently, for generating various types of energy. And what can you do with that energy? But again, I don't want to get too... Okay, I just started my backup recording, so we missed the first little bit there, but that's okay. Now it's running and all is well. So anyway, yes, it's a very strange thing. David Jones says, Sunday just doesn't seem complete unless I see your show. Love you more than Elvis. Well, I don't know how much you love Elvis, but I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, I'm just here doing my job. I wanted to, speak to you guys. There we go. I was hoping we were going to get a donation, and we did. Little Tiny Joe, 50 pounds. Hi, David, sending positive energy and prayers to you, praying you and everyone will be okay in these winter storms. Namaste. Pray for Minneapolis. Yes. It's a very scary situation. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, everybody is going through hell. Everybody is going through, well, not everybody, but significant part of our audience is going through pain and fear, and we don't really know where this is going. Ooh, look at that. I think I can make that a little bit better. And so, we don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know exactly what's happening, but we have enough insight into this to say, yeah, you know what? There's some weird stuff going on. Oh, that's what I want to do. I wanted to move that guitar into the shot a little bit more. Let's see if I can do that. That would be cool. Hold on a second, you guys. How am I going to do that? Oh, this way. Okay. I wanted to do that last time, and let's see if I can make that happen. Okay. Boom. Yeah, there's a little bit of the guitar in the shot now, just enough to add a little light exchange. So that's cool. And then how it looks good everywhere else too. All right, perfect. David, you still look good. Please keep it kind. We do not advocate violence here. I'm not sure who did that, but yeah, we definitely do not want any violence to anyone. Hope you can fight the bad weather. Yes, so look, it's scary, I get it, but we're going to focus on practical things that you can do today to prepare yourself for this, to be ready for this, to be ready for whatever